Watching and reading the US media, it's hard not to be surprised at the calls for war in one form or another. I mean, there are wordings like red lines, no options off the table, lethal aid, troops on the ground, and all of this is presented like it's no big deal. And not only in the press, but by the government officials as well. Now, you are a scientist of words, of mind. You are, a political activist. What do you make of it? Why are Americans apparently so ready to go to war?
Well, I don't think they're ready to go to war, but the commitment to sort of control the world is very strong and pretty natural. After all, this is the one global superpower. And this incidentally goes way back. So the peak of American power in history was around 1945. In 1945, the United States literally had half the world's wealth. And very naturally, American leaders wanted to design and organize a world system which would benefit primary domestic centers of power. That essentially means the U.S. corporate system. The origins of the multinational corporation began to develop at that time, abetted by the Marshall Plan and so on. And there were detailed plans for assigning to every part of the world what was called their function within the global system. That began to collapse very quickly. There's a lot of talk these days about American decline, which is correct, but it's rarely recognized that the decline began at once. In 1949, there was a serious blow to U.S. global hegemony, China's independence. There's a name for that in U.S. history and Western history. It's called the loss of China. But just think about that phrase for a minute. Loss of China. I mean, I can lose my computer. I can't lose your computer, right? I can only lose what I own. And the assumption, the tacit assumption is we own China. We own the world. So if any part of it becomes independent, there's the loss of China, or the loss of Indochina, the loss of the Middle East, and so on. However, it's worth recognizing, going back to your comment, that there is criticism of this in very prestigious places. So the leading establishment journal in the United States is Foreign Affairs, the Journal of the Council on Foreign Relations. That's as central to the ruling dominant establishment as you can get. Their last issue, the lead issue, advertised with letters on the front page, was an article by a well-known international relations specialist, John Mearsheimer, with the headline something like, "The West is responsible for the crisis in Ukraine." And it's a critique of Western, meaning U.S. policy, that has driven things to the point where there is a serious crisis in Ukraine, a crisis that, as Mearsheimer points out, seriously affects Russian geostrategic concerns and would do so no matter who was in charge of Russia, just because of the geostrategic nature of the circumstances. Well, that's right in the main establishment journal, the lead article. So it's not that this is going on without critical discussion. There's some. Not enough, I think, but some.
Professor Chomsky, we're going to take a short break right now. When we're going to come back, we'll continue talking to world-renowned academic Noam Chomsky. Stay with us.